All right. I cut the wheels on the CNC just like before, and the 4 holes were to allow access through to oil the bearing. I haven't been able to copy the original one. It was quite complicated and it didn't scale down very well. So I've made a simplified version. Now I've been calling it a pony truck, and it's not really a pony truck, because if it were, it would have something like a bar sticking out like that, and it would swivel from the end like a pony truck. I couldn't do that on this engine because the swivel point would have been underneath the firebox. So this is quite a simple form. And it's nice and free. The only thing missing are the springs, and so far I haven't been able to find any. So I'm going to have to make my own, I think. I've got some piano wire here, but it's a bit too thin. Oh well, a simple swivel point, just a bit of brass there, and the 2 holes there will be the adjusters for the springs. Here it is fitted. It's just swivels quite nicely. I painted the underside but not the top, because that's where the rubbing blocks will be. Just a simple swivel, which should be alright once I get all the springs in place. I'll have to have a locking nut on the top there. I was looking for a stiff nut, but I don't seem to have an M31. Still a bit of Loctite will sort that. And that's it so far. So I'll have to think about those springs. I've been experimenting, making various springs. I didn't get on very well with the piano wire. What I needed was some steel wire, and these springs are actually steel, copper plated. It's welding wire from my MIG welder. It's 22 gauge, 0.58 of a millimetre. And I've tried various sizes. I started off with a 6mm shaft. And I varied the number of coils in the length, see which one was most suitable, and they are quite springy, and as you can see, they work quite well, but they weren't quite strong enough. I felt they were a little on the weak side, so I changed the diameter of the shaft randomly. It began at 6, and I took a layer off, and it's down to now something like 4.7 or something. It was just a random size. And I varied again the number of coils per inch, because I'm on an imperial lathe. And that seems to be about right. So here is a finished one. It's exactly 12 millimeters. Now, if I can get it in focus, you can see it's not bad at all, and it is that bit stronger. Here's the setup. This is just the shaft. It's got several holes in it where the wire goes through. Not perfect, but anyway. And this is just a tube with a small hole in the end for the wire. It's just to feed it in. This is the gearbox, and I've set it for A2, which is 13 coils per inch. First is to wind on a couple of straight ones and line it up, and now engage the thread setting at 13 per inch. I'm in a reverse move, so it's going from left to right. And now I want to go back to doing flat ones. And the hard part is getting it off. I can't seem to find an easy way of getting it back out of that hole. And I've tried different way. I can't get the cutter on it. That's it. That's it, completed. One spare. I've ground the ends off flat, and to support them I used a 5.2mm drill which fitted nicely inside, and then sanded off on the belt sander. So all I have to do now is to make the little cups that fit in there, little plugs for the adjusting screw to press down on. These are the little caps now all made. The surface the screw presses on are slightly dished, just to centralise them a bit. Well, that seems to work all right. First thing I notice, it's lopsided, and that's because the springs, although the same length, are different strengths. So I'll have to find a way of finding a pair that are equal. Interesting. You'd have thought, winding them the same way and the same length, they'd all be the same strength. Well, sorted. But I have a horrible feeling the springs aren't going to be strong enough. I'll have to find something better. Anyway, that's the end of that stage. So the next stage is to make the crank rod arms that go on the end here. So I can make the conrods and the running gear. Have to quarter them and all the rest of it. Anyway, that's as far as I've got. Thanks for watching.